hardware. Okay. Then above that kernel, you have your software, you have your operating system. Windows also have a kernel, but that's not Linux. It's separate from Linux. Maybe some of the code is stolen from Linux, but it's not Linux. So and then your software is like PPT software, your Microsoft Office, and these interact with your operating system. Your operating system interacts with your kernel, and then that kernel interacts with your hardware. I mean, your Microsoft Office, you want to display some text on a projector or on your screen. What does happen over there? So your software, it sends some bits, zeros and ones to the operating system. What operating system does, it has to find the display and then show it on that. Okay, so there's a process of converting those zeros and ones to the thing that your hardware understands. Your display has arrays X and Y. It has to transfer zeros and one over there. You know about pixels, right? It's either on or it's either off. In color display, it's either red, green, blue, or a combination of those. So it has to convert those zeros and one into those things. So that's the job of from your operating system to your kernel, and then kernel interacts with your hardware. Okay, so that's where Linux comes in. Now what I was thinking that I'll show you where, I mean, Linux is, do you have a, I'll show you the code where, I mean, Linux is right now developing, and then we'll talk about different operating systems that are available there. Okay, so let's open our browser. So first thing, let's see. Yeah, what is Linux? Let's talk about how Linux was developed.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, you asked a question, open source software which is not free. It is a game called Quake 1.3, which is an open source software, but the user needs a license to play the game.
Google slow था. Google slow था.
That's a good answer. कोई खेला है किसी ने? काउंटर स्ट्राइक खेला है?
Yes.
कोई भी काउंटर स्ट्राइक की तरह ये काफी अच्छा गेम है.
काउंटर स्ट्राइक के जो तुम तो लोकल खेलते होंगे, लेकिन पर जो ऑनलाइन सर्वर्स होते हैं वो सारे लाइनक्स पे चलते हैं.
पूरा स्टीम.
हाँ, पहले वो विंडोज सर्वर यूज करते थे, बट नाउ दे हैव शिफ्टेड एवरीथिंग टू लाइनक्स. स्टीम एज अ कंपनी is now encouraging developers to port all of their games to Linux because Linux open है, ज़्यादा stable है और better use कर पाता है graphics hardware.
So basically, Linux was started by this guy. He was 20 years old. He was as old as me or some of you. Okay. So this guy was sitting in his room. He was studying in University of Helsinki. it's in Greece. Okay, so that guy, I mean, at that time it was 1971 or something, right? So there was these things like Unix was being developed, UNIX, Unix was being developed somewhere in America. This guy was studying in Helsinki, so he had a software called Minix in his college. So to use their software, you had to go to the lab and take permissions and then insert your program and then do all your code in that lab, then come home and sit just idle. If you are a computer engineer, you need computer at your home. So what this guy did was that I know how Minix works, so let me start an operating system that will be free. I'll give it to everyone. Whoever wants to use it anywhere, at home or at some other place, he can use it and do whatever he wants with it. He can change it, he can modify it. That's how Linux was started. And so what this guy did was, he wrote some initial piece of code, around 1 MB or so much of code. Then he posted a message on a mailing list. Hey guys, I'm doing this free operating system. It will not be anything bigger than my university project or something. So if you want to help, you can help. If you want to use, you can use. Here is the source code. Go do whatever you want with this source code. So in a month or so, he got so many replies. He got so many ideas about how you should develop this kernel. I mean, how you should do memory management. I mean, people from everywhere were contributing in this project, and that's how it grew so much big. So in that sense, after that, the main job of this guy right now, he says, I'm not a developer anymore, I'm just a manager. The only thing he does is sign off patches. What does that mean? This guy sends me a patch, he says memory management should work like this. He sends it to some other guy, I know this guy very much well. So he says it's okay, then I say it's okay, then it goes into Linux. He's right now managing everything that goes finally into Linux. He has some helper guys who help him, and then the source code finally goes into Linux. So in that sense, Linux is the father of, Linus is the father of Linux. So where is Linux used? Who uses Android? Who doesn't use Android? Who has never used Android? Nobody. So Android uses Linux. It's not proper Linux that's used in your computer, it's a modified version, but it's Linux based kernel. I mean, it's the kernel I'm talking about. Above that you have Android, your Android. So I talked about that kernel interacts with your hardware. So on your Android cell phone, there's also hardware now. There's a screen, there's a display, there are speakers and all those things. So Linux kernel interacts with that, and then your Android software goes interact with that kernel to show things and do stuff. And yes,
I have a question, sir.
Yes,
you have said that we use Android phones, but it is not properly. We can modify our Android system without the routing. Routing
so
is basically done.
you can modify from Google site. They have open source all their source code for their kernel. It's I downloaded it a day or two earlier. It's 600 MB of code. That's common kernel code, and above that there are different drivers and all those things. They are open source, but the guys who make your phone, they don't allow you to change ROM. That's why you need to do. So the project is open source. If you want, I can show you the source code, but we'll do that tomorrow. It's all scheduled for tomorrow. So we'll show you a lot of source code tomorrow. Okay, so I'll also show you where is Linux common kernel code. Okay. So Linux is famous for stability. Where does stability come in? Who needs stability? I mean, if my laptop crashes once or twice, I don't care. Who are the guys who care for stability? I didn't give sticker to the guy who answered last time. So come and collect, okay? Yeah, so the question is, where does stability matter? Who needs stability and for whom it's the most critical thing for them? Company, okay. Where in company? I mean, use your mics, guys.
Developers.
Server. Who said server? Yeah, so yeah, it's server. This is very. So collect your stickers, okay, after this thing. Or okay. So servers. What does a server do? Answer this, and you get a Linux inside status.
Sir, it handles all the computers in a network. Yes, sir.
It provides all the information to the source.
Sir, it controls
Basically
all
used for
the
data
computers
sharing.
in a network through different file management and DHCP server, DNS server, all these.
You know a lot, and you already have a sticker, but nice. Yeah. Me too, Mike.
It helps to communicate between different computers.
Yes, more than each server. Basically, when you type google.com, what does happen over a server is you go to a DNS. There are different kinds of server. I mean, we should not go into that. Basically, a DNS server transforms your google.com to some numbers. Those are your IP addresses. Then that tells you about a particular server, that this computer has a file. That's the HTML file that's given to you, google.com. If you type Control U in your browser, you see the source code. That source code is stored somewhere on some hard disk. How do you know about that? So that's what your IP address tells you. And then that server's job is to store that HTML code and then transfer that to your computer, so that your browser can pass that code and tell you that this is how Google looks. That's where. So if Google server, has anybody ever heard that Google is down today? Anybody?
There was an instance down हुआ था 20 minutes के down हुआ था.
It's once in 10 years or so.
30 minutes के down हुआ था. कब हुआ था वो बताओ. Hint दे रहा हूँ 30 minutes के down था Google. कब हुआ था बस ये बताओ. अब क्यों हुआ
Use your
था?
phone.
Use your Google. Google अपनी बेइज्जती होने नहीं देगा तो तुम्हें मिलेगा भी नहीं. सोचो.
Yes. I mean, there is a story that it's just a story that some guy was a lead developer in Google, and in the code for that password thing, I mean get password, he wrote return true. So for every password, it's the right password. So you just type the email ID and it logs in. So you cannot send that out just like that. So he hacked someone's phone and then he transferred that, but you cannot find these things on Google. So anyways, so
anyone answer उसका क्या हुआ था 10 जुलाई को apocalypse
10th July of
क्या हुआ था कोई बंदा मर गया था एक्चुअली और लोगों ने इतना नेट पे सर्च किया उसके बारे में इतना ज्यादा सर्च किया कि गूगल ने सोचा कि वो वायरस है उसका नाम माइकल जैक्सन गूगल आधे घंटे के लिए बंद हो गया था जब माइकल जैक्सन मरा था बिकॉज इतने सारे लोगों ने एक साथ ये सर्च डाले माइकल जैक्सन डाइड इतने सारे लोगों ने एक चीज लिखी गूगल पे कि गूगल ने सोचा वायरस है एंड इट उसका ऑटोमेटिक सिस्टम ने अपने आप को शट डाउन कर डाला
और ऐसे ही एक बार पहले हुआ था वर्ल्ड ट्रेड सेंटर का इवेंट सबको पता है उस टाइम में गूगल डाउन नहीं हुआ था एक्चुअली उस टाइम गूगल इज ए कंटिन्यूअसली डेवलपिंग कंपनी सो उस टाइम उनके साथ क्या हुआ था कि सब लोग वर्ल्ड ट्रेड सेंटर सर्च कर रहे थे और जो उनका उस टाइम में गूगल था उस टाइम में उनके रिजल्ट्स में आ रहा था वर्ल्ड ट्रेड सेंटर की फोटो कोई न्यूज नहीं आ रही थी हर बंदा ये जानना चाहता था कि उनके रिलेटिव जिंदा है या नहीं तो इसके लिए गूगल ने स्पेशली अपने होम पेज पे एक लिंक डाला हुआ था जिसमें वो लेटेस्ट न्यूज डालते थे लेट्स मूव ऑन सो व्हाट इज दिस who knows about this
blue screen of death.
the exact name is blue screen of death and who gives you this so last day we were checking the mics and all those systems so we played one video you know about blender now so they created this video we were playing it's a 4K video you know about 1080 it's somewhat higher resolution than that we played that on a Windows computer and it crashed we saw this so this is basically sometimes they give you error system error successfully completed what is that so basically Windows is a closed source project they are not able to test on that many systems. They crash a lot. It's not the reason for you to move to Linux, but it's one of the reasons. Linux cannot do everything. Yeah, that's right. So I mean, there will be some downsides, but in the end, you guys are from computer science and IT, and if not, you are interested in programming. So you definitely will need to move to Linux somewhere or the other. I mean, you are getting so much open source code. You are getting so much code. You can learn from code. You cannot write that much code. You need to read code. Reading code is one of the most important tasks. So that's how you learn how to code better. So you can read code using Linux. Can I keep Windows? Yes. So I keep Windows. I play a lot of Call of Duty and all those things. So I keep Windows. I haven't turned it in the last 6 months, but I still do have a Windows. So we have this thing called, right now when you boot your computer, you just see Windows and all those things, and it starts Windows. So once you install Linux, there will be a screen that's called bootloader. Bootloader is your bootloader, but yeah, you will see a bootloader. It will show you different options. If you install more than one Linux operating system, you will get an option. Boot into Windows, Fedora, Ubuntu, Linux Mint, whatever you have installed. You can just select that at the startup, then you boot into that. It's just that simple. So now let's talk about, you guys asked which is the best operating system. Never asked that question. It starts a flame war. People start fire on each other. So first of all, this is Ubuntu. The main motto of this organization is to make software and make the desktop look like the thing that's most intuitive to most of the people. That's their selling point. They're not creating a very high-tech operating system. Where there will be a lot of terminals. They keep their interface very simple and it's very user-friendly. And that's why I don't know how much percentage, but more than 60 or 70% of the share goes to Ubuntu in open source market. Right now it's shifting to Linux Mint. It's 49% for these guys. It has decreased severely in last year. Right now the most popular operating system, a Linux-based operating system, is Linux Mint. So move on. OpenSUSE, the one that this guy uses. So the only difference between Ubuntu and OpenSUSE is their package manager that I see from my point of view. Other than that, it's a Linux-based system. All these are based on Linux. They have same kernel, but the things that are different are their desktop environment. Can you see the difference between an operating system and desktop environment? Desktop environment is something that you see in your computer. You see your Windows button, then you see your Explorer, how that Explorer looks, how that Windows button looks. That's what the desktop environment is. The best thing about Linux-based operating system, you can install more than one desktop environment. There is one KDE desktop environment, then the one Ubuntu uses Unity. Then you have some more desktop environment. There's LXD for guys. Single core processor. I don't think anybody has a single core. Dual cross or slow processor. For that we have LXD. It's a very small desktop environment. There are no animations, but it can run on very primitive machines. Fedora. I use Fedora. Basically, Fedora gets the latest version of the kernel. We told you about how much kernel is developed. So they get it's upgraded every day or something, and they get the latest kernel update. So that's why I use Fedora. There's Arch Linux. This guy uses Arch Linux. It's basically when you have a certain amount of proficiency with Linux, you know about some level of commands, then you should move on to this system because it's built from scratch. You take your kernel, you take your display driver, you take your manage all those desktop environments I talked about, and you merge those and you create your own operating system. It can look like anything. It's just that it's based on Arch Linux. Linux Mint. So the reason why Linux Mint is growing so much That's because it looks very much like